And good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone here. My name is Dazed Cloud, and you guys are joining us here on Zelda Speedruns for round 3 matchup between Dracarys and Mr. DNA. I'm going to be joined in the booth today by Benny Burrito there. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Oh, you can't complain here. Definitely looking for a good race here. This is the winner of this series will go on into the quarterfinals here, and it looks like so far there was bombs in Link's house there, which Dracarys has taken and gone directly to Sasharala, and we've got a green pendant in Eastern today. With Blue Mail also on Uncle, so things are moving fast, as we've got a Power Glove and the Shovel already. So action's quick so far.
And that's crazy. Those are some crazy early finds. And the divergence right off the bat is always fun to see.
Right. Yeah, Dracarys doing that early Sasharala play there with bombs. It's a kind of a unique opening there, but if you find something like that glove early, it can really pay off, because right now, if he wants, he can go jump into the back of Escape and just knock that right out, which is exactly what he's going to do.
While we are sitting here at the beginning, I would like to give a big shout out to these incredible sprites. Who ever thought we'd have Dragonite versus Homer Simpson in Zelda?
Oh, that's the sprite artists are probably one of my favorite things about this game here. Oh, and a Quake medallion in the back there. Did you happen to check what was on the Lumberjack ledge there? I didn't quite see it.
Give me one moment and I'll let you know.
All right, well, over there on Mr. DNA's side there, using his Homer Simpson sprite there, we've got a big 20s from the bush crab here, so money is not going to be an issue at all for the runners today.
It was a piece of heart on Lumberjack Ledge.
Just a piece of heart, so well, that's nothing too interesting there.
But Duff on the ledge.
Hey, lots of early bombs. Wow, money is everywhere this seed for them. This is really quite a wealthy seed, and Beatorb there sitting at the mushroom spot in the Lost Woods.
Perfect spot to find a bottle.
It's kind of nice there. You can go ahead and, when you're routing in Kakariko, you can take off the Sick Kid check as well. So if you can find the flute here, this is going to be an incredibly efficient start to your race.
Absolutely. You have money to buy the from the bottle vendor. Get the flute, activate that guy, turn in the bottle to the poor sick guy. You're rolling.
Right. And one thing that's showing there, when in the bottom of Blind's hut there, we've got our first map. Now, that's something we didn't mention earlier. This is map and compass shuffle, which means we're not going to know exactly what our pendants and what our crystals are. So when Dracarys checked that early Sasharala check and gave us that green pendant, that's something that we're going to have to find out as we go. There's no map checks in the early game, at least.
Really adds a whole new fun layer to the whole thing.
Right, yeah. And a hook shot there in the back of the well. So there's our first really big item. And not a whole lot else, unfortunately.
It'll be interesting to route in Death Mountain. I wonder when that'll come up.
Well, assuming these runners are comfortable with with sequence breaking up there right now, you could go there. Really, if you just wanted to turn north real fast, you could be up there and go raid the 10 items up there with an ether medallion there in the chicken hut.
Picking up coins. Getting rupees, getting coins. It's all about the money.
Alright. And there's that ether medallion there from on Mr. DNA's side, as he's kind of leading the way through Kakariko at the moment.
This in the back of the bar. So overall, it was a pretty good Kakariko, getting ether and getting hookshot.
Yeah, definitely. As the post runners are making their way down south at the moment, gonna find nothing in the library. It doesn't look like, but the race game might have something. I'll walk over there, and
They
looks
just go
like
for it.
it is. Yeah, Mr. DNA jumping straight in there. Kind of a risky play, but with map and compass shuffle, there's a higher chance of finding items around. But it is a... What do we got here?
This.
Yeah, that's just a compass there. That did not pay off for you today.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but with map and compass shuffle on, aren't there 2 more items in every dungeon?
That is exactly right there. There are 2 more items in every single dungeon, which changes the way that you route things a bit. If you can get into those dungeons, and especially if you can clear them, it makes them even more worthwhile. Even if it's you find out that you get a pendant at the end there, it's still, you want to get there fast.
Speaking of fast, Dracarys already checked out the shovel spot, the digging spot, and was only awarded 20 rupees.
That's a crying shame right there. Moving his way down south. Both of these guys are going down south to the dam here. And
It's
looks like
interesting.
that's our second glove. And a lamp in the under the water there. So I'm not sure exactly the physics of that situation there, but that gives us a very tempting Death Mountain at the moment.
There are a lot of moving parts already. Dracarys might try to wait out a Moon Pearl to try and do Dark Death Mountain with Light Death Mountain. Mr. DNA may put off going to Eastern for a little while to get that second glove.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing right there. It looks like Dracarys is heading his way over into the desert here. He's gonna just get rid of this quick. Well, that's some silvers already. Did I see that?
Side by side bows.
Oh my gosh. We've got a little bit of action so far already.
Team Moldorm Cave. Packing heat. Ever wonder why Ganon is like a pig, but he's weak against silver arrows? And that's like a total werewolf thing?
The werepig. Oh god, there was a cartoon that had a werepig.
Kong Racing had a whiz pig, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. I'm trying to think back to my childhood and think of like what cartoon did I ever watch that had like a joke about like a werepig.
I don't know,
it's
but
not
on
gonna come to me.
Dracarys' side, he's gonna see the piece of heart on Lumberjack Ledge and probably not be too worried about Agate today.
Yeah, I mean, unless we've got a crazy situation where the hammer is locked in the pyramid, we're pretty sure we're not going to see Agate, which I think both runners are happy with.
Or Moon Pearl on the pyramid.
Right. Well, that's the other thing that could happen here. But with you're getting a complete access here up here to Death Mountain, where Dracarys is headed right now. I'm not surprised. I'll be very shocked if we find a Moon Pearl on the pyramid today. There's just too much available.
Just the seed seems to be throwing things out constantly, you know. So it's probably going to come up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, the seed does have a bit of an engine strapped to it here at the beginning. We're not starting with a nice slow one. We're 10 minutes in, and we have the ability to complete one green pendant dungeon already. We also can basically raid all of Death Mountain, and if we find the Moon Pearl, we can raid all of Dark Death Mountain too, so things are going pretty well. Spec Rock, not a thing. Absolutely nothing of interest in there for our runners there, as Dracarys is making his way over to the east side of Death Mountain. And Mr. DNA is going to go get his Quake medallion out from the back of Escape, it looks like.
I missed it on DNA's side, but he did pick up his Titans, so he's in good shape.
Yep. And he's going to give us actually the dark cross check, since he's coming in here with the lamp, so he can just walk straight over there and find out if there's something hiding there that's going to be useful. That would be a nasty place to find the Moon Pearl.
Oh, absolutely.
As we pick up a map of Desert Palace in there, so that gives us a little bit of information. Okay, so 10 arrows, a pack of bombs, some blue mail, and just bombs on Mr. DNA's side, and the red cane over in Dracarys' side. Now, Mr. DNA is making a bit of a mistake here. You can't go this way, unfortunately. He's going to walk through this next room and find out that door is locked from this side. You can't come this way, unfortunately.
I mean, I've tried everything.
Sorry, sir.
Trying to kill the rats, light all the torches. That thing doesn't open.
There's nothing you can do there outside of like trying to blast through with major glitches or something. And we still have got no Moon Pearl on the mountain so far, but we did get a couple of decent items, and looks like Mr. DNA is going to be joining Dracarys on up there.
Can't blame him for that. There's so many checks. But what's curious is neither of them have checked the front of Escape yet. I wonder if the Pearl is there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're hoping, when you came up here, you were hoping that the Pearl's here, and it's not. It's the fire rod, though. So that's a consolation prize. You'll take that.
It is a consolation prize. That might even be a better prize, because that's a little bit more. The Moon Pearl's a little bit more restricted with where it could be.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty fantastic thing here. So Dracarys is going to give us that front of Escape that you were mentioning. Oh, and he hasn't been to Uncle yet, so he's got a nice 5 items here that he can find. At least 6, actually, now that I think about it, because he'll do Dark Cross while he's here, likely, unless he gets Moon Pearl and just pieces out.
I was hoping for a red Dragonite, but a purple Dragonite? That's left field.
I kind of feel like that's the shiny one, but I mean, don't ask. I'm not a shiny hunter.
Just looking for that shiny Triforce.
Yeah, it's what you gotta get, right? Green was the shiny Dragonite, so blue is just whoever made the sprite, that's their favorite color, probably. We could say what's the mega evolution.
I'm glad we have a Pokédex in chat. Thank you, Nori.
Yeah, somebody's got to help us out here. And as we're kind of waiting for something new here, shout outs to our tracker there, Norinato, for clicking the buttons behind the scenes and getting things set up, and also shout outs to Benny Burrito for nailing that location of the Moon Pearl.
I've done like 5 randos in my life, and you learn a thing or two from the first few.
Yeah, there you are. There, first chest of escape is where our Moon Pearl was. So Dracarys is going to make his way back and light a few things on fire, while over here on Mr. DNA's side, he's going to grab himself some some red mail and our red cane. Homer Simpson with red pants.
It looks odd with a red cane, no less.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that one, honestly. Red pants for Homer? Come on now.
To be honest, the sprite doesn't look too pleased about it either. He's like, I know I got red pants, okay?
Oh man, what is there? There's 200 and I want to say 14 sprites or something like that. Some crazy number right now. I might be just pulling that out of my head here, but yeah, no, the sprite artists deserve a huge level of congratulations and thanks for doing all of this. And we're just gonna kind of chase each other's tails here for a minute, because everything is just kind of, we're all checking things that we've already getting a nice 8 bomb drop there from the mini Moldorms. One of the things that has been randomized is the prize packs. So if you're paying attention, sometimes that can really help you in this game, is paying attention to which of the enemies are dropping the very, very large things like the fairy drops or the bomb drops or the full magic containers. As DNA gets his fire rod from Spiral Cave.
Right back up to Death Mountain.
I mean, I cannot blame him in the slightest here. There's 6 items over there, plus whatever is hiding in the Turtle Rock as your entry requirement. It's all good information.
No blame here. Moon Pearl was in the first chest in Escape. The front of Escape.
Yeah, you're gonna see the Moon Pearl in about 10 seconds there over on Mr. DNA's side. Okay, so up in Super Bunny Cave on Dracarys' side, gonna get our 2 chests here and a full magic refill. We just get a compass to Ganon's Tower, and we're gonna get another pack of 3 bombs. Man, been a very explosive start to the seed there. Just bombs everywhere, money everywhere. You know, these guys are getting kind of easy mode today.
Really are. Although Dracarys still hasn't gone and checked Mini Moldor Cave, so he hasn't gotten his silvers yet. It's going pretty well.
Oh yeah. A compass to Dark Palace there. You have to assume he'll be there not too much. And a compass to Swamp Palace. Come on, 3 compasses. Big 20.
Might get a 3rd.
Still 2 compasses. I mean, you know, all right, I guess.
A little bit of navigation on Death Mountain.
Oh, and that's just kind of a booby prize there in, for Zelda's Cell there. That was a map to Ganon's Tower in Zelda's Cell. Just in case you weren't sure where, where Ganon's Tower is. Now you 100% know. So, you know, that's why you made that extra couple of screen transitions for her.
We also saw that Turtle Rock is Bombos.
Right.
The one coin we don't have.
And probably means that it's going to be a crystal because, you know, we need to troll these runners a little bit. We need to make them actually work for it, not just, you know, have a nice easy run here. And it looks like both of them are headed directly into the Dark World here. So, should we start taking bets on at what point these guys actually find a sword? Because right now, they don't have really too much that can be used to kill things with. Or at least effectively.
Ooh, green goo. Very nice, very nice. Good to have.
Definitely there. So, green goo will make sit and make things like killing blind a lot easier, because right now the only item that you have that can kill blind is that Cane of Samaria, which is, you know, to be honest, that's a fun clear.
Oh, absolutely. I was worried what you were going to say there, but it's one of the best clears.
Oh no, it's a blast there. You just put the block down and then just laugh at blind as he runs into it over and over again.
Well, he is blind.
Yep. All right, getting a shield there, it looks like, out of the compass chest there, and nothing particular of interest out of the C-shape house, as we've got our runners looking in both of the areas there, trying to get a little bit more things to do.
See, let's see DNA's logic. Let's see if he full clears Thieves Town. Or if he just does the front for it.
2 shields in Skullwoods today. Hooray.
Okay, if that's what's going down, I'm putting my money, all 4 swords are in Ganon's Tower. So never mind.
Yeah, you can have 3 in Ganon's Tower, unless both of our pendants are this. We got an ice rod as well, though, so now we're a hammer and bombos away from being able to clear Turtle Rock. And a sword. We need a sword, though, as well. Those medallions without opening. I am evil Homer. I am evil Homer. Had to, sorry.
It's okay. I just wish it was Mr. Plow.
Oh. Boots! We got boots in Thieves Town right now. It looks like we're going to be peacing out of here. We're going to go for just take the quick death warp out of Thieves Town. Yeah, understandable not wanting to go all the way to the back without the hammer. Gunneries makes a different call there.
I don't know why it cracks me up. That look on Homer's face as he goes running around. It's just like, I don't care that I'm doing this. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of you expect more expression there off his face there. Just a piece of heart there in the digging game. I'm kind of curious to see what Dracarys does over here on his side. I'm actually kind of more of a believer anymore of you should just probably finish it while you're here. But why you don't? Just because been something in that Thieves Town big chest, it's a royal pain to get back there. You know, you don't want to do it.
Absolutely. On the bright side, there's a pretty good chance that's a crystal dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, because we do know one of our pendants. That's all the information we have. The other information we can get is probably from Mr. DNA here, as he's getting closer to where to the bomb shop, where you can get our information about our 5-6 crystals. Away right now, so.
And Mr. DNA also has about 600 rupees, which is enough for Zora should he choose.
Yeah, gonna have to find a mirror here to be able to get through this, and it looks like our 5-6 crystals are Desert Palace and Turtle Rock, so that Bombos medallion is 100% necessary.
Dracarys found the ice rod fairly early. I'm kind of shocked that it's not a pendant.
Yeah, I mean, that should be standard practice, right? Okay, so let's rate this hype cave. Piece of heart. Half magic. Compass. The third shield and a piece of heart.
Alright, I'm gonna give
rate
that
hype cave, please.
I'll give it a 2.5 because half magic is pretty cool. What would you rate it?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, half magic gives that like a 2. I think is pretty fair there, because you're happy about the half magic, but you know the plastic shield is not going to be too exciting there. And yeah, and Norinato there is 100% right. Looks like both of our runners are not going to get to see their sprites today for too much longer, because they're going to get the mirror shield for sure.
Enjoy it while you can, everyone.
Ooh, great find over there on Mr. DNA's side. That's the hammer there in King's Tomb. So that's a lot more action there.
It's a little bit obscure of a location. It's not the hardest thing to find, but it's people don't always go there right away.
Yeah, it is definitely forgettable. Like if you just kind of remember to keep turning left out of, saving and quitting out of the sanctuary, you might just forget about that. I'm not speaking from experience by any means.
Don't sound like you are.
Yeah, no, I've never done anything that silly.
But this does
bullied by. Oh, go ahead.
Takes the play of leaving Thieves Town early. I mean, now they could go back in full cleared if they wanted.
And makes sense, since both of them have got the dwarf behind them right now. Got our little blacksmith buddy there, so they'll be able to just go straight back into this and then clear it out, and if they want, go around. Now, this is one place where Mr. DNA has the advantage of actually going to South Shore, since he's got silver arrows right now. If he wants, he can curl around and go and complete. What's it called? Pod. There we go. Sorry, early morning coffee's still kicking in for me.
It's okay, I understand. He could full clear a lot right now. He could fake Flipper to Ice Palace, and while it wouldn't be in logic, he could beat that too.
Yeah, I mean, so the funny thing is right now, like the thing that we're most missing for these runners that would help the most is a sword. Like, we're in with access to almost the entire game, but no sword.
That's how it should stay. They've had too much luck so far. They need this.
Yeah, let's make it so that Turtle Rock is just absolutely as difficult as possible to get into for them. So, Mr. DNA, since we're playing Map Compass Shuffle, to kind of reiterate an earlier point here, Map Compass Shuffle means that maps and compasses are out of their dungeon, which gives us an extra 2 items for everywhere. So, a place like this, in Thieves Town, we now have a full 6 items available inside of it.
I believe we got 2, right?
Bullied. Yeah, we've already got 2 there, so there are 4 more items sitting here in the back of Thieves Town that you can pick up. So hopefully we'll find something, but who's to say at this point? Unfriendly grasshoppers up here in the attic of Thieves Town, looks like.
They don't want him to get that chest.
And we got a vanilla map of Thieves Town in Thieves Town today, unfortunately. That's kind of a shame. Both runners are making their way back to the basement and to where all the goodies are at. Here. Still trying to find a sword, and we're missing a few other things yet, so this is still far from anything, any sort of no mode or anything like that at the moment, but it's been a pretty good opening so far.
One of the biggest, well, we need bombos, we need a sword, and we could use some flippers too, just to make certain we can do everything.
Right. Yeah, at least everything in logic. That's the fun part about map and compass shuffle is that, well, you might be able to complete things, but you don't know if you're going to be completing the right things. With this being game 2, Dracarys won game 1 here, and so that means that Mr. DNA must have made this choice for map and compass shuffle here. It's an interesting pick here. Do you have any thoughts about like if you were in a game 2 situation, what would you choose there, Benny?
Absolutely, this one is so much fun. It just adds a whole fun dynamic to it. Would you pick?
See, I've gone back and forth on it a few times here because I think what I would choose in a lot of cases is I choose something like Fast Ganon, just because Fast Ganon kind of allows you to set that a little early there as we're going into our Samaria blind fight here, as blind just kind of walks into the block and goes from there here. I choose Fast Ganon just because there's been such a prevalence of runners who can, what am I, not clip, but what's the word I'm looking for? Hover and hook and item dash and all, not item dash, but mimic clip. There we go. Sorry, I'm watching Mr. DNA have a bit of trouble here with this last fight. He's won. With a one little piece of heart left, getting a 5 rupee reward and our first crystal. So there's crystal number 1 of the game.
Just under 33 minutes in. That's not a terrible time.
And Dracarys on this other side is opting to go for the hammer strats on blind here.
That nearly is cool. But still pretty cool.
More difficult, to be honest. He's now got blind in the middle of the room here. That mirror shield doing a bit of work. You're hearing the dings on his side. And takes him down without any problem here. So that's a full clear of Thieves Town for both of them. Man, that hammer hitbox is just the best. I want to say that I saw 10 hits, but I'm not actually sure.
I can't even count that high.
Yeah, that's a bit weird there. It's supposed to only have 9 hits on blind, but man, that hammer sometimes in those, iframes can just make things iffy. Alright. Now, as something brought up earlier there by our tracker, we've got boots, we've got hammer, so why isn't Dracarys item dashing through all of these? Well, you can't item dash until you get a sword, so that's why we had to do the slow way there, and unfortunately rewarded with just another 3-pack of bombs.
This game is really making you work for it. Gotta get those blueberries.
Yep, and I think on Mr. DNA's side, he's going to have another one of these oops moments here in just a moment there. He's heading to the back of Skull Woods without a sword.
Without a key as well.
Without a key as well. Oh wow, yeah, that's the lack of key will stop him before the lack of sword. Hopefully the lack of sword will oh well. Okay, so we got a key here. He's gonna end up going back to that room with the curtains and realize, oh, I have made a mistake.
This is such an easy thing to miss. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna suck, but I don't blame him. Well, never mind.
Oh, okay. Maybe he did remember. So he went all that way to get that one pack of 10 arrows. It looks, or that one key there, unfortunately. And here's something that you see every day. Here is a 35 minutes mini Moldorm cave.
Well, Nori points out in chat that the purple chest was just 10 arrows, so that's good to know.
And there you go. There's your silver arrows in your first 2 checks in mini Moldorm cave.
Well, if you're Dracarys right now, how are you feeling? Like, you went so far, you had these silvers there the entire time that you could have gotten forever ago, but you never really had to use them. So you feeling okay still?
Yeah, well, I'm feeling fine if I'm being honest, because if you're Dracarys there, the only thing that you could have done is you could have done the green pendant. And you've already got the knowledge that is, and green pendants, this isn't a pedestal seed, so you're not really interested in doing the pendants unless you kind of have to. And so you're not feeling too bad, because now you have the ability to just water walk your way up there to Pod if you want, or however, and go ahead and finish off a dungeon that's going to have, what is it? 7 items in it. So I'd be feeling pretty good with that right now.
Does set him up in a really good spot if he wants the fake flipper to Zora and the hobo and all that.
As he's got a water walk set up there off the edge of Ice Rod Cave. It's a pretty easy trick to do there for anybody who's new at this game. All you got to do is set up your dash just along the right side there. You get a bumper cave check over on DNA's side. That's just 50 rupees. Right.
Boy's got a piece of heart, a little bit of love.
Surprisingly not checking hobo, but not wanting to check waterfall cave or something like that.
I don't know, but at the same time, I would, but I'm not in the tournament. I lost a long time ago, so he must know what he's doing.
Well, yeah, Dracarys was the 2 seed in this this bracket stage here. Mr. DNA is our 50 seed. Dracarys got a bye in the giant early. Well, what am I trying to say? The early game, massive bye game one. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. I do know what you're talking about.
And,
I know what you're talking about.
There you go. Thank you. At least someone does. The New Year's Day buy race. Thank you, Nori. That's the one I'm talking about. And he in the last round he took out Nif Boy from the tournament there in a 2-0 match. Mr. DNA's had a bit more of a bit tougher of the tournament so far. He had to crawl through against first there being Angles or something like that. ANGLHZ in the first.
I think he calls himself Angels.
Angels? Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, and then the 1-2-0 over Scandalous Nabs there to get into this place where he's now racing for his life. But you know, putting on a pretty good, you know, attempt out of all of this here. So as always, if you give a chance there, go ahead, do give these runners a follow. Give them, you know, give them a little bit of love there, because it's hard doing this.
Absolutely. And while we have been saying a lot like, hey, these guys have it easy, I think it's starting to get a little bit harder for him. So give him a little love. Make him feel good.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an impromptu swordless seed so far. So, I mean, while we've been kind of joking about things being easy for them, it's not that easy. You're still having to use hammer and things like that to kill your enemies today. So, you know, it's not the way that you would really prefer to do it.
These guys are just making it look easy. Let's be honest. If I had to do this stuff, it would be a train wreck. It's something you just walk on and suddenly are great at, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Mr. DNA unfortunately finding out, oh yeah, right, you can't item dash if you don't have a sword here, as he bonks twice into the thing, 3 times into the thing.
Makes you think like Homer Simpson is saying like, "Dolph, Dolph, Dolph."
Oh, God, if they could add the sound effect every time you bonked as Homer Simpson, I might play that sprite. Like, that might become my main at that point. Hey! All right, we had a bull-locked sword in pod at 40 minutes and like 30 seconds in here. So now we can start item dashing and doing all the fun stuff. Oh, that is some great information right there. One of Homer's falling frames spells out dough. That's that. Oh, the detail on these things there. It just having 20 rupees. As we're making our way to the back here. Now, you might be asking, wait a minute, but Dracarys didn't actually check the rest of pod yet. True, but he also doesn't have the mirror. So this is kind of something that a lot of runners will do if you get the big key early, just because this allows you to kind of have a free mirror. You get a mirror from killing Helmasaur. You'll end up going straight back to the front of the dungeon there, not having to use death warps or any of the kind of slower tech here, because you're going to beat Helmasaur anyway. So then at that point, you can go and clear the rest of the dungeon without too much problem.
See some bomb strats. Come on, bombs. Okay. Okay.
We're just going to NMG him here. We're just going to smack him 17 times on the helmet there and probably pull out a silver arrow to finish him off, I'm assuming.
I just noticed. His helmet kind of looks like an arrow. And then you kill him with an arrow. It's you ever notice that?
Yeah, a little bit. My favorite one is the people who, when they were a kid, said that he looked like a cat, so everybody started calling him Dino Kitty for a hot month there. That was the best, actually.
That's funny. That's so cute.
I've got I think I'll throw this in chat there. I don't think she'll mind here, but I did a little drawing of Dino Kitty here. I'll toss this in the chat real fast. Hopefully that's not gonna set off any alarms or anything there, but there is Dino Kitty. Once you see it, you will never unsee it.
Aww, that's adorable.
Of course, that does make me feel bad about actually beating up Helmasaur every time, but hey, you know, the game is the game.
Wow, we have both runners in the same dungeon. They've been following each other like neck and neck almost this entire race.
Yeah, this has been very close so far here. I mean, Dracarys has, a couple of room lead here on Mr. DNA, but they've pretty much made all the same checks so far. It's this is more of about an execution lead, I'd say, than anything. Dracarys has been just a little bit smoother so far than Mr. DNA has. But like, this is still rando. We are still missing mirror and flippers and a few other things that we're probably going to need. That Bombos medallion hasn't shown up yet. And that's another ice rod almost. And it's not in pod.
Where are we going next?
That is a good question here. Looks like Eastern might be the call here with those swords going to take those in. Yeah, and we might need flute as well, as Nori points out there. We might need flute if Misery Mire is a crystal. But again, we don't know what is what here, because neither of these runners has been nice enough to give us a little map check here, because we've picked up a few maps, but we don't know what anything is outside of this, because this is map and compass shuffle.
Still know Desert's a crystal, and we know Turtle Rock's a crystal, so we're missing 3.
Right, so at this point, we are about, what is it? You got about a 40% chance of going into a dungeon and getting a pendant out of it. A Sphere Zero sword for the runners has been sitting there and nobody picked it up for the first 40 minutes.
In a sense, it was kind of close to the other sword because it was in like the Light World version of the dungeon. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I imagine both guys are gonna be picking that one up and just going like, "Oh, come on." Silver arrows in mini Moldorn cave. So if you'd come over here and cleared this out, you could have already finished Skull Woods at this point. You would have had a much easier blind fight than either of these guys had. Games mean sometimes, man.
Without a doubt, but it's always fair.
Fair, that might be a bit strong of a word there.
Okay.
Alright, it's fair. It just sometimes doesn't feel fair. I think that's the way that I'll talk about it. The amount of times I've gotten very, very angry at this game. Usually revolves around an ice rod hump.
Oh man, yes.
Okay, as we've got on Mr. DNA side, he's heading down to fight our good friend Dino Kitty. And we're gonna see here in our big key chest there there's a whole lot of nothing. So, we're gonna go back and both runners are gonna show us how to beat up a couple of these bosses here.
Silvers are gonna make this fight go so fast.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just about to say the same thing here. Now you're gonna see exactly why silvers are locked until late game in the vanilla game here, because things melt when you have silvers. And Mr. DNA side going for the slightly slower but definitely effective way of beating Helmasaur King there, of holding your sword out. Now, don't blink on Dracarys' side because he's going to use the silver arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're dead.
I really like that side shot he did on, I think, arrow 3 or 4. That was cool.
Yep, and he gets his green pendant for his trouble there, and both runners are lifting things into the air. We got a little simultaneous, little bit of sync showing off at, look what I did, Mom!
First time I've seen Homer smile all game. Probably because that's the only time I'm paying attention.
Well, there you go. Alright, green pendant is 20 rupees, so congratulations, you have wasted your time.
Actually, yeah. But now you have peace of mind, and you got a sword out of the deal.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not a complete waste of time. And who knows? We might have one of those very, very, very fun PED seeds.
Everyone in chat is hoping for it.
That's the thing. I still want to know what exactly are our dungeons at this point. What if they would be nice enough to go into the dark world? Now, okay. Unfortunately, we're not going to get any more information. We will get the information when they get the information, it looks like here. So there's nothing here that we're going to get to see, as Dracarys is going to make his way back into fighting the moth, it looks like. And on Mr. DNA's side, he's showing off that nice hammer dash. And yeah, those pegs go down fast there.
It's so satisfying when someone uses the item dash for those pegs.
Oh, it's a great feeling. Once you learn that trick, you never want to use anything else now. And if you're one of those who don't actually know that trick, it's very easy. You are just dashing and using the hammer on the same frame. So basically, you press the buttons at the same time. And when you do that, it looks hard. It is absolutely not.
There are a few glitches in this game that you might be like, wow, how is he running so fast? And it's like, well, it's actually really easy.
Yeah, just press the button. Dracarys is 100% set on getting that Gibdo to die to the spikes there. Didn't actually get it, but it was 100% set on trying.
All right, Mothy baby, what's it gonna be?
How many times is he going to bounce off the spikes today? That's the question here. Wow, he is being very, very kind so far here. I think every single hit has actually landed. Wow, that was fast.
Took a drink of water and coughed, and he's dead already. What happened?
That is a friendly moth, and that is our second pendant. So, all right. Now, what do we do now? That's the big question here. What do we do now?
That big key chest. You don't know what's in there.
Yeah, this is the fun of map and compass. Oh wait, was that a green pendant on?
Couldn't be.
Pendant on ice. That was super fast.
What, you mean a blue pendant?
Oh, yeah, a blue pendant on ice. Yeah, I think that was a pendant on ice. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for Nori to give me a 100% check on that. That was quick and unexpected.
It wasn't a crystal, so then it must have been the blue guy.
All right, so now we finally have all of the information for this, which means we are looking for a mirror, we're looking for some flippers, and we're looking for some flute, and the Bombos medallion yet. So while we had all of that really nice early game quick items there, well, it's slowed down now. We're having to look for things, and it looks like Dracarys is choosing to go up to Tower of Hera for his next clear.
Meanwhile, Mr. DNA is gonna go do Eastern, so he'll find his second sword, but he's actually kind of behind right now.
Yeah, this is the second sword is good because, you know, we don't have any knowledge of where the other two swords are yet, so, you know, that's an important thing to beat Ganon with. But other than that, yeah, this is just going to be a time sink for him.
Enter Hera.
Hey, big key, and is Dracarys going to show off the Hera pot? Alright, looks like so. So he sets up the first bomb with a bonk there. Then he's going to line his sprite up so that if you're trying to figure out exactly why is he doing this, he's trying to get the menu to be at the right spot for the thing to work. He didn't get it that time, so he's going to have to try it again. What you're doing is you want where the pendant and crystals there to leave just like the far right line of that chest there. He's having a little trouble with it. Not there, not quite there. He's still trying to get it too far. It's a pixel perfect jump, and it is finicky. There it is. That's it. He's got it.
Props to these runners for learning stuff like that.
I will say this: Dracarys is actually the person who taught me that Hera pot setup, because he's got a YouTube video there. If you go and search for it, where he teaches exactly how to do that Hera pot. So if you're wanting to learn, that's another one of those tricks that again looks hard, is actually not. You just kind of have to get in the right spot, and it's not overly hard to get into that spot.
Dracarys does show off that despite they may be really good at a bunch of cool stuff, they're still very much human, as he dashed right into the bumper.
Yeah, doing that little bumper skip there, you've got a little bit of a window there. If you're too high, you go into the pit. If you're too low, you go into the pit.
Trouble on DNA side. Missed the arrow on the Igor. They got him.
And we get powder and our third crystal there over on Dracarys' side.
Oh, we have a bat that's in logic. A magical bat.
Magical
but I don't know when we'll get to see him.
Yeah, and we've got an item in the basement, since this is, of course, map and compass shuffle there. So he's going to be taking a little coffee break, and to be honest, I think I'm going to go refill my coffee cup as well.
Well, you've all earned it. All right, DNA, what you got? Fine, just fine. Gets his green pendant and a full heart. Anyone that's been tuning in a little late, this is a round 2 game. Dracarys won the first one. Map and compass shuffle.
Lynn Drac is not in EP yet because he wanted to go get the mirror out of the bottom of Hera, because of course that makes perfect sense for a place for a mirror to be. Then he's going to save and quit and probably go to... oh boy, actually that's a good question. That's late mirror. That's not fun. You don't want to find late mirror. You want to find early mirror, not late mirror.
Where's it going? Where are we going next?
Well, I'm guessing this will be a cave 45, maybe up to oh boy. Cave 45. I don't know if he'll route all the way up to Graveyard Ledge, but there's not that much that mirror unlocks at the moment, because he still doesn't have flippers yet.
And he doesn't have the flute, because that would open up desert too with Meyer.
Right, yeah, and checkerboard cave, all that good stuff. But we're gonna find in cave 45 map that we don't
know everything now.
Kind of useless there, unfortunately.
It's quite interesting to me how these two runners have pretty much followed in each other's footsteps.
Yeah, the routes really haven't diverged too much. Yeah, it's just been a matter of both of these guys kind of know the route that they want to take here. I think Dracarys is heading on his way up to do some catfish and probably the Zora checks here. So without those flippers, I won't be surprised if he does shows off a little bit of splash deletion for everybody. He's got all the items he needs to be able to pull that off pretty easily. If you've never seen a splash deletion in a race here, it's a fairly new trick, I want to say, within the last couple of things here. Oh, first we're going to go check Graveyard Ledge. This is some good routing here from Dracarys there. Being able to come over here now, this is probably one of the easiest times to come over here. He's setting up for that bomb jump. Looks like he's got it there.
Bomb jump from DNA.
Survey says this is not the place for your flippers or bombos or flute or any number of the other things you're looking for. Alright, getting a little kern jump set up here from Dracarys' side. Might need that high knocks to go leave him alone though.
He gets mulled on down. I couldn't remember his name for a moment.
Again on Dracarys' side. Gets it on the second attempt here. He is now swimming without flippers there. That kern jump is the quickest way to be able to get across the island, get across the gap there. It's the only way to get across the gap right now.
It's pretty incredible pulling that off. Just so nonchalantly. That was something.
It's another one of those that looks really, really hard and not really. Now, does Mr. DNA have a potion or a fairy that I'm not familiar with?
I think he has a couple bees in a green pot.
He's not gonna make this then.
It was damn close.
Yeah, and there's your Bombos medallion. It's on catfish.
Comes the splash.
Yep, that's it. 3 arrows into the wall, a quick bomb drop, and in he goes.
As chat points out, Mr. DNA did not grab the mirror out of the basement. That's going to be a problem.
Oh, that's going to be a killer right there, because this could be a situation where this is map and compass shuffle coming back to bite him. He might have counted the items in Tower of Hera, but not realized that there's 2 more items. This is something that, unless you're really familiar with the mode, it's something that can bite you really easily.
And that mirror is required, so that's gonna be pretty bad.
Oh, hey guys, guess what? You know you had 2 swords available from almost the very beginning of the game, and you know how neither of you got one for 40 minutes?
Someone in chat called it on Twitter.
That's a fun trick.
Someone in chat called it, yeah.
R Lily 12, hey, congratulations there, and don't worry, the burning of the Witch Society will be around here shortly.
Whatever you guess in the Ganon Tower chess big key game, I'm guessing your number.
That's fair. Alright, so Dracarys is now making his way up, and he's probably going to go ahead and beat Turtle Rock next, and yeah, we're still 2 items away from being in go mode here. So it's, you know, if you're over on Mr. DNA's side, you got to start sending him like mental vibes to go back to Tower of Hera, because that's an awful place to orphan something right today.
What was that catfish? DNA is on his way to clean up Skullwoods.
And Dracarys is making his way into Turtle Rock now. It looks like on DNA's side, he'll have he's got a pretty good setup there for fighting that moth with the half magic plus the plus red mail there. Hopefully shouldn't have too much of a problem, but as we all know, Moth is an avowed jerk. Into the Moth fight here, so
he's being so much meaner.
Yeah, this is Moth right there. He just occasionally doesn't want to do anything. Mr. Dracarys picks up a key, and it looked like, I don't know, either a map or a compass or something useless at this point there. I've been kind of keeping more of an eye on what's going on there as Mr. DNA finally takes him down. Picks up the big key and his red pendant for his troubles here.
Where are you going next, Mr. DNA? You got a lot open to you.
Well, actually, that's one thing. If he goes to Catfish, things are pretty good. Because Catfish will bring him back up to the mountain. Maybe at that point he remembers that, oh, maybe there's something else still in Hera. And he'll go and pick up that mirror. Other than that, I'm trying to think, what has he got left open?
He could do an off-the-wall gamble at Ice Palace and hope that the flute's there or something.
You could fit Flipper in there. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
That would be entertaining for sure. Hi, Dratini.
I love the Dratini. Yeah.
Oh, cute. Alright, and trading a key for a key.
Flippers cannot be at Ice Palace because you're supposed to logically need the flippers to get into it.
The only way you're going to be finding flippers in Ice Palace is if you're playing entrance mode. And then in that case, things are completely wacky anyway, so... Alright, we got another splash delete happening over on your DNA side. Hops in, no problem. And he's gonna go and check out Hobo and probably maybe head up to Zora as well.
I'm in the cave, what you got? What you got, in the cave, what you got?
Got mimics.
That it does.
That's what it's got. it's in the name. Nah. And
it's a heart.
Yeah, a little bit of vanilla. It's that piece of heart that you always forget when you're going for 100% as a kid.
I'll do that. And when I was a kid, I was just happy to finish the thing.
Yeah, I don't even know if I knew Mimic Cave existed when I was a kid, honestly. Ooh, that was a close fireball there. And oh, hey, I'm suspiciously eyeing chat right now as our Lily there was talking about flippers being on mushroom as Dracarys just picked up the mushroom out of the of the roller room there.
That's someone's really hitting it on today.
I'm getting a little side eye right now, kind of going, okay, yeah. Anything else you want to tell us? The lottery numbers, you know, something. Yeah. Alright, first chest in Laser Bridge is just a heart, and there's a book, so hey, guess what? Guess how we might be opening Desert today?
For some reason, I am surprised. I don't know why, but it's like I would have thought we would get them the flute by now.
Yeah, and I mean the answer is always Laser Bridge is the meme, but I guess maybe it still is today. It's hard to say. We'll see what that mushroom gives, and we'll see what that book gives us, because that book will give us another. You know, that book opens up a couple of fetch quests and another dungeon. So, actually,
while Mr. DNA got his ketchup sword.
Right, so he is on bacon as well. There, ketchup and bacon does not actually sound good there. As Dracarys is going for these, gonna try to get a quick Trinex kill there. It's probably gonna one cycle this. It looks like, yeah. That ice head didn't want to play nice, it looked like. And Mr. DNA is on his way to Catfish to pick up his Bombos medallion, it looks like.
A clean Trinex fight. Man, oh man.
That's a very dead Trinex there. Very explosive with a lot of pretty fireworks.
Speaking of being a kid, I think my favorite part of the game was when the bosses would explode. They'd make that like final noise and then they start exploding. I always thought that was really cool. I still think that's cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's that little bit of, you know, I did it, you know, feeling there where, you know, even though at this point I've probably beaten every boss in this game 300, 400 times, it still feels kind of nice.
It does.
Alright, Dracarys is making his way over to Ganon's tower. Actually, no, he's not. He's gonna go check that ether tablet there with that brand new shiny book that he pulled out.
Now DNA is going up to turn her up.
Okay, now hopefully... Oh, this is gonna be a shame too. Okay, so luckily there was nothing on ether tablet. Kinda hoping that DNA on his way up there goes, oh wait, I forgot something, and remembers to go into the back of the basement of Hera to get his mirror, but I'm not thinking that's likely.
I'm not convinced that he forgot. I think he might just be taking a gamble. Be wrong though.
It's understandable to be making that gamble, but it's not going to work out. Now, Dracarys was able to check Spike Cave there because he had 2 more hearts than when Mr. DNA showed up. Like, the minimum amount of hearts to be able to pull off just walking in Spike Cave, kind of sequence breaking it there would be 14. If you try it with anything less than that, you're gonna have a bad time.
You also need the hook shot and boots to do that, right? 14.
Boots, I don't think it matters because you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna be able to dash at all during the time. But to be honest, I'm not 100% sure.
That's usually... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. I was looking at chat there. No, unfortunately, the mirror is 100% required this time because swamp palaces are crystals. So, yeah.
Nothing on Bombos. 50 bones.
All right, so this book kind of does two things for us. It opens up our desert palace, which will give us there'll be 4 more items in here thanks to the map and compass shuffle. The other thing that it does is this is our other 5-6 crystals, so this will also open up the pyramid fairy. So chances are we're gonna find some sort of progression here because I'm blanking for any place else to go.
I'm coming up with nothing. I'm sure there's something I missed. That we missed.
At this point, yeah, it's hard to say. And hey, there you go. Flippers are locked in the right side of Desert Palace as he pulls out his big key as well.
Honestly, we haven't checked the mushroom yet, so maybe the flute's on the mushroom.
That could be it too. That'd be a very fine place there, but that's going to give you full access to everything. It also puts the possibility of flute being on Ped there. We want to get nice and long with this. Worst case scenario is we're going to find flute in Ice Palace, but at that point we'll be going into all of the pendant dungeons, which is not a whole lot of fun.
It's almost like par for the course at this point.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing map and compass shuffle, there's a pretty good chance it's key sanity light, so there's a pretty good chance you're going to end up in all of the pendant dungeons, either knowingly or unknowingly. All right, as we're waiting to see something new here, I will say this: if you could go ahead and give these runners a follow here. Both Dracarys and Mr. DNA, they're fighting for the spot in the quarterfinals of this Challenge Cup tournament. If you can, they would really appreciate the love there. Also, if you could give our tracker there, Norinato, there a little bit of love in the chat, because it's not an easy job by any means, and she's doing fantastic with it.
Comes Lambolas.
Who wants to tell Dracarys that he doesn't have his silver arrows up?
Thank you, Larry. It's interesting that you can turn that off. Why would you turn that off?
Silver arrows make lag.
Okay.
And I think it's one of those things especially if you're, I think he turned them off when he did his splash deletion there, back a while back, and he just forgot to turn them back on. Okay, well, where to now there? You've got Ice Palace open, not Ice Palace, you've got Swamp Palace open to you, so that's the obvious play. But let's see if he wants to feel kind of wacky and silly and goes to Ice Palace. Now, of course not. He's on his way over to Swamp Palace right now.
Swamp Palace is the best palace of all the palaces.
It's the worst one if you have to go to the bathroom before you enter.
Yeah, it probably is.
Mr. DNA getting his book off of Laser Bridge, so he'll be able to go now and track down the flippers and such. Now, this is one time where you're really hoping that he's going to figure out where his mirror was really quick, because if he gets to those flippers and doesn't have the mirror, he might start thinking, oh, the mirror is in Ice Palace, which is 100% not the way he wants to go.
Unless the food happens to be there, in which case he'd get pretty lucky, but he's still not gonna find the mirror.
Yeah, that mirror is just in the worst spot for him right now. The map for Swamp Palace was in the first chest of Swamp Palace. Gee, thanks, game.
Done that a couple times now.
Yeah, it's the fun thing with Rando is that every once in a while, Rando just says, you know what, we're gonna just put things in an effective vanilla location. Have fun, guys. Down goes Trinex there after on Mr. DNA's side. So that will give him his 4th crystal there as he holds it up into the air for everybody to see.
I'm so happy. It's hard to deny him his glee.
Yeah, that is just a great look on his face.
And he swings his sword and he's like, it's business time. And he goes back out into the wild. So where's he going? That looks like Spike Cave.
Yeah, he's gonna retry that Spike Cave, which is that's another thing that's gonna keep him from thinking Hera. Oh man, that missing that mirror is just that's really unfortunate. Now he's got 14 hearts. He should be able to get through it this time. All right, here goes.
He's using the boots though.
Yeah, the boots don't really help because the damage will just stop you immediately. This, he might not, I don't think he's gonna make it now.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually one time where you don't want to use the boots, as like weird as that is, because you stop once you get hit by the spikes. So you've got to keep your movement going forward the whole time. Ah, that's a shame. Right, off the desert we go on his side, and Dracarys on his side hasn't found the flute yet. So if it's either here, left side swamp, Ice Palace, or head. Oh God, yay! Those are great choices. Oh, could be Pyramid Fairy as well. There, as I think about it. So yeah, and mushroom. Yeah,
right. Oh, and mushroom. Thank you, Lily.
Argus doesn't have it, but he does have Dracarys' 6th crystal here, so he is 1 crystal away from go mode, but we're still looking for an item. From Ganon, but we're still looking for an item.
Come back in, leaving no stone unturned, no bubble unpopped. Looking for that food.
Alright, and there's the flippers on Mr. DNA's side. This is going to be a double-edged sword for him, I think, unfortunately. Alright, in we go here in this dungeon that has a full 8 items for you to find today, and we're going left side swamp. Well, Lily, it is 100% requires Mr. DNA over there to kind of make the kind of galaxy brain god play of remembering he's left 1 item in Tower of Hera and hoping that he just goes back there immediately. Because the longer that he puts it off, the worse that it is. Because it's not a good location. It's not a quick check. Because he can't just mirror up the mountain either. He's got to walk all the long way around. And then wait through the bottom there. So skipping that is it is probably the biggest difference in the lead that Dracarys got there. We move into left side swamp and drop down the hole to find another heart container. That's 17 hearts and red mail.
And red rupee.
Yeah,
it's not there.
This is not where it is.
The princess is in another castle.
Oh gosh. And it looks like our next move is going to be the bomb shop here. So we're headed up to the Pyramid Ferry. Using for the fire rod strats here instead of the silver arrows. Understandable. Silver arrows are faster. We'll take them down in one hit. Fire rod requires 2. Nice fight though. Took him down nice and easy there. So he's going to pick up his 5th crystal there. As Dracarys has trying to salvage his bomb. He did. Oh man, that mirror there. Clutch mirror there to salvage his bomb.
Absolutely. That sort of on your toes thinking is incredible.
Yeah. The bomb dupe there requires you to go through a screen transition pretty much when that thing turns 0 there. There's a bit of leeway in it there, and Dracarys just showed you exactly how much leeway you can get there. As he pulls out his gold sword out of the Pyramid Ferry. And that's it right now. So,
that vanilla? I forget where that is.
That is a vanilla sword indeed. And yeah. Okay, so off to Pendant Ice it looks like for both of these runners. Hooray.
Find the flute, get out of there. If you don't find it, you might as well finish it because it might be unped.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is that, again, map and compass shuffle. So you're looking at 5 items in here instead of this, and actually 6 items if you're just assuming that you're pulling ped if you don't find it. Oh, I'm getting excited. This might be the first time I get to call a ped seed. I probably just jinxed it.
Way to go, since it's gonna be this chest right here.
Yeah, probably. Hey, alright. Keep working for it, boys. Alright, and the runners have finally met up in the rooms here together. Not quite sync.
Semi-sync.
Quite
Semi-sync.
close. There we go, there we go. There's a little sync.
Synced up, falling in the pit. Very nice.
Sync, a sync oops on the bomb jumps. And Dracarys pulling ahead a little bit here with just a little bit cleaner execution. Like we mentioned here, Dracarys was the 2 seed in this bracket stage in the Challenge Cup side here. He's well known as somebody with, high level execution, high level routing. So he's a good one to watch, definitely, if you're learning to, if you want to learn some of the little intricacies of the game here. But as I said that, Mr. DNA caught right back up.
Oh, no dice. Over here.
That's a lot of keys. Yeah, that's a lot of keys, right? Oh man, I just heard that. And we got a whole lot of keys, and we got a whole lot of not the flute so far. Right, that's not it either. So we're gonna one of the lesser known bomb jumps here to hop across this gap, so you can easily get more to the Ice Tea room here, as we are dealing with ice physics, which are just the best.
Every game.
There's Cape in the big chest over there, so 300 rupees on Dracarys' side, so unless it's hiding on our good friend Cold Stare here, it's not in here either.
It leaves the mushroom and the pedestal. They checked Magic Bat, right? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, no, Mr. DNA checked Magic Bat there. That was just a big 20. Oh, time to get excited, I think.
And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are no items in Agate Tower, right?
Yeah, right. No, Agate Tower still got the keys in there because the keys haven't been shuffled. So
and there's no math in there.
Yeah, those two are still just the keys. And all right, Gold Sword Cold Stare fight. That was kind of sick.
That's a tough one.
Oh yeah, that is surprisingly hard, actually. Yep,
oh,
Gold Sword Cold Stare fight. And immediately saves and quits there out of that. He's gonna save himself the trouble of going through and lifting that useless pendant up in the air. He's got his flute and he is in go mode at 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we'll say 30 seconds.
Okay, Mr. DNA is about to get his flute too.
Yeah.
Man, that mirror just that one skip.
Yeah, that's gonna be a killer here, unfortunately. And he's got a bit of a harder Cold Stare fight. It's not a hard Cold Stare fight, it's just a harder Cold Stare fight with the because he's only got the Bacon Sword there. And all three puffs go down with that last spin. That was pretty nice there. As our duck has been summoned and the Quacken is released.
Airtime.
Oh, okay. Bird toss, bird toss, bird toss. And you know what the people want. We can't have a ped seed. We definitely want a bird toss here, Drac.
People pleaser.
All right, that'll do. That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. I'm happy.
Pretty happy too. I'm glad he did that.
Oh, okay. Now, we're on Mr. DNA's side. We are gonna again start the "Please go back to Tower of Hera" chant. Yeah, a mental chant at least.
I think by now
As
he
he's now
can't hear
releasing
you.
his ducky. Yeah. And we have a duck that is amok.
King of Pokemon.
I was more thinking Daffy Duck, honestly, but hey, it's all good.
Oh man, I wish I thought of that. Now I feel weird. Same Pokemon.
It's all good. I get to show I'm an English teacher, so I get to show kids cartoons every once in a while of that, and that's one of my favorites to use because all of the crazy crap that happens in it. All right, no Godmire for the runners today, unfortunately. It's not going to matter on Mr. DNA's side because he's going to full clear this dungeon no matter what. With 4 items in here, he could be doing this for a while. Whereas that big key's not playing nice either.
Is awesome, but when you're 30, you almost would rather say Daffy Duck.
I just gotta remember the Saturday morning cartoons when I was a kid and waking up and then watching, like, I think it was the show or something. That's how old I am.
Looney Tunes are awesome.
Yep.
And we have 2 other cartoon characters here on the screen, but let's give some love to the Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Well, I am kind of surprised, actually, now that I think about it, there are no Looney Tunes sprites here. If there's anyone in chat who's a sprite artist, come on, let's get on that here. Chop chop, come on now. Alright, our cutscene chest has our big key there. So that is now off to our good friend, Mr. Vitreous there. And, well, what's your favorite way to kill Vitreous?
Arrows, man. Just silver arrow him down. Quick and easy. What do you think?
Personal favorite for me is not the fastest by any means. It's not the fastest, but I am a big fan of just taking the cape and a gold sword and just running right through him repeatedly.
It's a little brutal.
Oh, but it's fun.
Whenever I think of Vitreous, I always think of My Cousin Vinny. You know the movie with Joe Pesci? So, like My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta do it quick and easy. I don't wanna be tearing up my man Vinny. You know what I mean?
I get you. Dracarys showing off a little spooky action glitch over there on his side. That's a better way to do it than the way I've been doing it. If you're gonna ask how that works there, it's
Scare him out.
game's weird is the best thing. When you warp in. Actually, hold on a second. Let's talk about that later. And 1 and 2.
Vinny's biological clock was ticking.
Yep, and that is that. And that's our 7th crystal. So, if you're interested at this point, there are 22 chests in GT right now, and we're gonna have a little guessing game here to figure out, well, who can get the closest to the right chest there. So if you want to, as soon as, I'm not sure if there's a bot here, as soon as we get this thing started there, throw a number in between 1 and 22 for the GT Big Key guessing game.
The number you're gonna choose?
Oh, let me see. What am I feeling today? Someone just took it. Darn it. I'm gonna go with Let's go with 8. What do you say?
Well, I was going to go with 8 because I saw no one else did it, so now I'm not going to.
All right, someone took my 14 at the beginning there.
And that was taken, so let's see what... Okay, you know what? I don't see this number, so I'm going to put it down. Damn.
Alright. Now, hey, no fair guessing. No, some of you there, hey, no fair guessing like 3 different numbers. I saw that, alright? As Dracarys is making their way into GT right now, I will be just kind of like casually putting a stop on this as soon as he enters the actual tower here. All right. So, looks like we're going to favor a quick left side check here. Chest number 1 is, well, torch number 1 is going to be a small key. Looks like this might be a dark magician setup here, or...
Dude.
And
3
hey,
3 is the winner.
Yep, number 3 was... was that blue peanut butter?
And Rufio.
Rufio got it first. Blue peanut butter also got it there. So hey, congratulations, guys.
Some pretty smart people in this chat today.
And over on Mr. DNA's side, he just took down Vitreous there, and he's now on his way to search for his mirror there. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pedestal pull here in the next like 2 seconds. Starting up at Mountain Cave, or are you gonna go back to Hera? No, you're not.
We got the mushroom. That's a pretty easy track. Or the pedestal.
Yeah, we're getting a ped pull over on Mr. DNA's side, looks like. He's firing that fire rod shot up at the wall there repeatedly, making sure that wall is well and scorched. And here we go. What was on the pedestal today? It was 20 rupees.
Ooh, woohoo.
Yay. 1 arrow shot. Oh, missed the second one. Missed the third one even. Gonna get a nice recovery there on the second. And yeah, down goes Landmo 2, and we're headed our way up the mountain. And I'm not sure where Mr. DNA is going to go next, unfortunately. For him, at this point, it is too little too late. Dracarys is halfway up GT as we speak, with red mail and gold sword and silver arrows. Like, he's pretty much got everything he could possibly want. Ah, it's the Pyramid Fairy. Okay. Lighting some more torches here. He's going to make his way into our Helmasaur room up here. Not going to even pay attention to anything because he's got all the keys he needs. He's got everything. he is fully stocked on equipment right now. Like, he's missing a blue cane, and that's it.
Started off as a pretty quick seed, seeming to give him everything. It really got dry in the middle there.
There goes Moldorm 2, and yep, this is what we were kind of afraid of over on Mr. DNA's side. That was that nice long opening my map going, wait, what did I miss?
Yeah, you get to almost 2 hours in and you're not in go mode, you don't feel so great.
Yeah, right now, and especially if I'm on DNA's side, I mean, you know the person you're playing. So at this point, you're kind of sitting there going, oh, I think I might be done. I get a single and a single there on Dracarys Aga 2 fight here, as Mr. DNA also gets the bad news that, no, I'm sorry, it's not there either. And a nice double there, so we've got 4 hits down on Aga 2. Oh, I guess that was 5, so 6th hit for them, and here comes Ganon.
Here comes Ganon. We're going DNA.
All right, he's up on the right place. And can't go this way. All right, we're gonna go to the Ganon fight here. Why rule over a desert of stereotypes and something, something, something? I'm gonna hit you with the gold sword a few times.
Oh, he thinks it's in. Oh man.
I mean, kudos to him. This is something that he hasn't checked yet. It's hard to remember all of the things that you haven't done. At this point, it is hard to say exactly, what else am I missing?
Do Spike Cave 3 times. That takes, like, courage. I would be so displeased right now. I probably would have forfeited forever. Go like, I died in Spike Cave twice. Why?
And we've got silver arrows. Dracarys sets up a shot there. Nice triple setup here. 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, man,
down
incredible.
Goes Ganon. And as soon as Dracarys crosses this bridge, we can fully announce that he is moving on to the quarterfinal round of the Challenge Cup tournament, finishing with a time of 1:47.16. Get your GGs in chat there for Dracarys. Hopefully we can pull him in for a little bit of a talk here. And it looks like, if I heard that right, yep. We are now joined in chat here by both Dracarys and Mr. DNA there. GG's to you both.
GG.
GG's.
Well, not to spoil anything right now, everyone, but yeah, unfortunately, that does mean Mr. DNA has forfeited from this race here. But yeah, I guess first question I'm gonna ask it to you there, Mr. DNA. When you chose Map Compass Shuffle there, what was your ideas there?
I've only ever done it twice. I won both of those races in this tournament, and they were really fun. So that was pretty much all that went into that thought.
Right on, and so it looks like what got you there in the end was the mirror. Any idea what happened?
Just completely forgot that location. I did a last race too. I forgot the desert ledge and I forgot Agina's cave. So I've just lately, for some reason, been forgetting a lot of locations, and it really bit me on this.
Oh yeah, that was that is unfortunate there, but you know, I mean, you made it to the round to the third round here in the Challenge Cup, so you know, been a great tournament there for you so far. Shame it has to come to an end, but you know, GG's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a long time coming. I've had a lot of game threes that I won just by, you know, less than a minute or maybe 2 minutes. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I learned a lot about Rando in the last month or so. I feel like I'm a lot better than I was before I started this tournament. So, as far as that goes, it was definitely a big success.
Right on there. Well, and over to you there, Dracarys. You took that down without too much of a trouble there. Now that flute was a nice buried location, but other than that, what'd you really think of this seed?
I think the mirror was worse, actually. Because you really don't want to climb the mountain just for Tower of Hera without a mirror, because you have to go through the whole east side loop. And it's kind of unfair that the hammer, you get mids for Dark World access, you get a lamp and the hook shot, so you're super tempted to check east of mountain early in the game. And then the hammer is, well, somewhat free, more or less. It wasn't hard to find. But at that point, when do you go back up to Tower of Hera? It took me like an hour almost until I got that mirror.
Yeah,
You put it like that, that is ugly.
And with that map and compass shuffle there, I was wondering if that's kind of what that made it just even that much worse, you know, because you had to remember that, yeah, the basement actually has an item.
I mean, when I went up there, I was pretty sure I was going to get something, because it was pretty much down to either that or I think Pyramid Ledge, Catfish, and Zora. And then I got my mirror, and the mirror actually led to nothing at that point. So I knew that I left something else. And then I almost last location Catfish, because that was also kind of hard to reach with how the items lined up early in the game. So I don't know. I tried to be as efficient as possible, but this seed didn't let you. Like with the flute and the mirror buried so deep, it's hard to be efficient. Yeah.
Well, Mr. DNA, we're seeing you bomb the hell out of that chest in Hera.
Yes, and I refuse to open it. I'm really glad the mirror was not in, because if it was, I think I would have quit forever.
Understandably so. That was rough, man.
Yeah, I've never tried the 13 heart. Then I had 15 hearts the second time, but then I got hit on the way there and I stumbled a little bit on the way, so then I still didn't make it with 14. It was just brutal.
I mean, if I was like, it shows a lot of like strength and courage on your side. If I had missed that twice, I probably would have just forfeited right there. Just feel like I'm done.
Well, and Dracarys, with moving on here, you're going to be facing, though, looks like in the quarterfinals here, you're going to be facing the winner of Scion T and Scrub Casual there. Any kind of thoughts on moving on in the tournament?
Well, not really. I'm just going to play as I always do, hope it works out. And yeah.
Pretty good there.
You guys have any last words for everyone?
Just good luck, Dracarys, on the rest of the way, and I hope you win it all, and then I can say I lost to feel good about it.
Thank you. And thank you very much for the restream, as always.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's always great to be restreamed.
Our pleasure, guys. And everyone in chat, remember, these guys tried real hard, so maybe give them a follow. And while you're at it, maybe give Nornato a follow as well. She did a great job on tracking. Things were always as accurate as possible.
And with that, we're going to be moving on here to something else. If you could, Yeah, definitely make sure to give these guys a follow there. Give my co-commentator today, Benny Burrito, a follow as well. It's been a whole lot of fun here, and we're gonna have some more races coming up on a couple of different channels. So if you're looking to keep following this here, there's a lot of options available to you. If you're looking to volunteer as well, go ahead and get into the Discords for the Challenge Cup tournament. Everyone's always looking for people to help you there. To kind of plug the Challenge Cup as well, there is another match that is about to start here in about 5 minutes over on Go Mode Podcast. If you're interested, of course, in keeping with just more of your Zelda speedruns, this is the channel for all of that. And with all of that, my name is Dazed Cloud, and thank you for watching. I'll leave Benny Burrito with the final words there. GG's to our runners.
My final words are thank you for watching. We'll see you all next time.